All right, how's it going, everyone? I hope you're doing well today. So AJ and Dillian Whyte are going to get it on again, August 12th, London, DAZN pay-per-view. It's a good fight. I think it's the perfect fight for these two guys, to be honest with you. I think it's definitely the perfect fight for AJ and Dillian Whyte. Let's be honest, I don't think he could probably get a bigger, in terms of money, fight. Maybe. No, it's probably the perfect fight for him as well, considering what, where they're at in their careers and what performances Whyte's been putting in and where AJ is. I don't mind it. I think thought this fight was going to happen. I think a lot of us did, and it's happening now, and I'm okay with it. In terms of it being pay-per-view, it's one of those ones where it's probably not pay-per-view. I don't know how much it is. I live in America, so the pay-per-view's out here. I'm assuming it's just going to be on DAZN, right? If it's, I don't know. It's one of those borderline ones where they're probably going off the back of the first fight, and AJ, you know how they'll sell it. It's not a pay-per-view fight really, but it's not that far off it, I don't think. But question is, who's going to pay for it? Because AJ's brand is in serious danger of dropping even lower. That's why he really needs a really good performance. Does he absolutely need to go in there and blast Whyte out and knock him out in number 6 rounds? Probably not. But he could use a really dominating performance. I think personally, I've always really believed AJ's going to come back, and I still think that. I think he's going to come back, and I think he's going to be all right. I keep insisting on that, because the one thing that I keep leaning to is not one thing, but he, no matter what he's done, whenever he's won or whenever he's lost, he's always gone back to try and better himself and get the best out of himself, and I've always admired that. And even after this last loss against Usyk, he could have changed trainers and gone to stayed in the UK and sidestepped and gone to somebody that will basically just take orders off him. Not necessarily a yes man, but somebody that isn't gonna be in control of him. And Derek James is definitely the boss. He does it in a very calm manner, like he does with Jermell Charlo. He's to be able to tame that ego takes a special talent, I think. And I know AJ's been a superstar and way bigger than Jermell, I get that, but it takes a lot for you to sort of submit yourself to go abroad, cut everything out, make more sacrifices, and it looks like he's on that page. And for that is a massive character, what's the opposite of flaw? I don't know. It's an amazing character trait. I really think that. And when you have that in anything, let alone boxing, and you have his ability, and he's still getting better. He's going to learn a tremendous amount under Derek James. And, obviously his confidence needs to come back, and there's no guarantee it will come back. But, I think it could come back a little bit. And when it does, I think, Return of the King. I was going to make a video about this about a year ago. I'll put the thumbnail up now, because I was trying to work out a video of how lions get basically ostracized from the pride if they don't, if they're not tough enough, or if they lose a fight and stuff like that. They can either get killed as well. And I compared it to that, or I was going to. It ended up being a really complicated piece of art, and I ended up shelving it because I was like, this is too much work. But I saved the thumbnail, and I truly meant it at the time. I was like, it could be one of those moments where the king returns. And I think, well, watch this video, I might be wrong, but I think he's going to beat Whyte, and I think he's going to beat Wilder. I know people might think, oh my God, that's crazy. We'll wait and see. I think he's going to learn his ability to box. He's got so much talent, getting fast tracked and doing what he did. Let's not forget how quickly and how rushed it was, and the willingness of fighters he was willing to take on without a question. He's got a very good resume. It blows my mind when people don't, they seem to question his resume. They don't know nothing about boxing. He has got a very good resume, and he was doing it on the job. in a massive pressure situation in front of, you know, obviously the big stadium fights, and it was just amazing. And, you know, he took a tumble. I don't know what happened in sparring that day or the lead up to the Ruiz fight, but, you know, he hasn't been the same since. But that can happen to fighters, you know. But once he really understands how to control and how to box and use his jab, and Derek James is a master at getting people to use their jabs, and, you know, just he's going to learn so much here. I think he already is, and I think he looked pretty good against Franklin, and we'll find out how good Franklin is. But he, you know, he practically won almost every round. Probably maybe lost a couple of rounds to Franklin. Decent fighter, decent win, but AJ boxed behind a good jab, and, you know, obviously he was leery, and that's just part of the confidence build up. And, you know, maybe he's been touched up a lot in sparring or whatever, but, like, you know, they say a good chin is the one that doesn't get hit, and if you don't get hit in it, I mean, if you well, the less you get hit. Now, obviously, if Wilder hits him on the chin, it's good night, and there's every chance that might happen. But I've got a good feeling he's going to beat Wilder and Whyte, and the return of the King will be one step closer. But obviously, bit by bit, and I'm not a massive AJ fan like that. I just know what I see well, I think I know what I see in his desire. Whether it's money orientated or not, it doesn't matter. He might still understand how much time he has left and how much money he wants to earn and how much money he has earned, and he could get that back. And getting that back would take a bit more sacrifice and a couple of fights. He could be right back in a massive fight. You know, the Wilder fight would be a massive fight. If he knocks out Whyte spectacularly, takes care of business, I think it's going to be, actually, to be honest, I think it will be a cagey fight. Watching Hatman's video, shout out to you. I know you mentioned that. I was thinking that too. I was watching Talk Sport as well. Spencer Oliver was saying it was going to be, you know, guns blazing or something like that. I don't think so. I think it's going to be a cagey fight. I think AJ is going to be on his jab, being very conservative with it, and I think he'll knock out Whyte when the knockout comes. You know, it'll be one of those, you know, don't look for the knockout type of fights. You know, he'll open him up with the jab a little bit, and White's defense will get a bit leaky and a bit weird, and AJ will come crashing in with the right hand and end the fight. But Whyte is a live underdog because of his tenacity, his doggedness, ruggedness, power, left hook. You know, he obviously, one of his better chances probably would be to catch and shoot again, like he did in the first fight. He really hurt AJ with a tremendous catch and shoot. I think he might have even caught a catch and shoot. If you don't know, it's when a punch is coming in, you can catch it. Typically, you know, it's with the it depends really. You can catch it with the jab and shoot back with the jab. Whyte caught AJ's right hand with that lead, with his lead hand, and then came over with the left hook. Tremendous punch. You know, you can do it from an uppercut here. If it's a body shot, catch it, shoot it. It's a very good little counterpunch maneuver. Whyte definitely, well, he hurt AJ badly with that shot. You know, AJ will be wary of that probably, but it's still a good opportunity because, you know, the advantage being when your opponent does land the shot, their hand is not by their chin. That's why there's a split second window for you to fire it off, especially if you're planning a catch and shoot and your opponent doesn't really, you know it's coming. It can be devastating, and it was. You know, he had AJ in all sorts of trouble. But, you know, I don't see this fight going 12. Obviously, Whyte's punch resistance is pretty bad. We don't know how bad AJ's is, but, you know, I think he'll be, like I said, keep a high guard, box behind the jab, wait for that opening. You know, move around a little bit. AJ's footwork is actually pretty decent. I've criticised it quite heavily in the past, but I think Usyk was a big part of that. And excuse me, yeah, it's an interesting fight. It's a good one. Whether you'll pay for it or not, I don't know. I hope it. Yeah, maybe in America they might put it on for free. I don't know. I've been paying for a lot of pay-per-view fights this year. There's been a lot of fights on. I remember it was the Plant Benavidez, Haney Loma, Tank Garcia. There was maybe one more as well. Was it one more? I don't know. It was a lot. My bank balance was like, whoa. No, I'm just kidding. But it was. I'm happy to do it. But if it's worth it, and this is it worth it? Do you know what I mean? Probably not. But anyway, that's it from me. I hope you guys are well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think AJ's done? Do you have as much belief in him as I do? I've been waving the AJ flag for a while now, and I'll stand on what I mean. I really think he's going to come back and beat Whyte and beat Wilder. Obviously, I'm fully aware he might not and get knocked out. I don't dispute that. I just think once he gets his mojo back, we could see a really good comeback story from AJ. It'd be magnificent for boxing. It really would. It really would. The heavyweight division needs a little bit of a shake-up, yeah? Like Tyson Fury. Just, God, I don't even want to bring his name up. It's so nauseating. So, AJ, it's left up to him, you know, Wilder and all this deals on the Saudi. They got to get some movement going. They got to get these big fights going, because that is what's missing in boxing right now. We're getting the big fights down. We've got so many tremendous fights coming. A lot of people are, excuse the train, not that thrilled with the Jamel Charlo Canelo Charlo fight. I like the fight. I think it's a good fight. I made a video about it a couple of days ago. Go check that out. You know, I think Jamel is a very live underdog. I actually, to be honest with you, I know he's in camp right now as well. He's started camp, and the lateral movement for me, his jab and his IQ, he's got to keep Canelo a little bit honest with that jab. When there's moments where Canelo just kind of walks in, he's got to stick the jab on him, move a little bit, let his hands go every now and then with the combinations. But if he fights a disciplined fight, he could put some problems on Canelo. I really believe that. He's already in camp now, like I said. That's a 12-week camp if he's going for it. They are going to be ready, prepared. That's going to be a tough fight for Canelo, I think. Anyway, I hope everyone is well. Loads of videos coming. Peace and love. Have a great week. What day is it today? My mum was just in town. I'm all over the place for what day it is. Thursday. Have a good weekend. All right? Peace.